Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everyday Black Man Podcast, a podcast for authentic black male thoughts. I am Riker, and I'm joined by R. Reed and Armstead. Follow us on Twitter at EVYD Black Men, Instagram at Everyday Black Men, and Facebook at the Everyday Black Men Facebook page. Now let's start the show. Just kidding. One last thing I want to add is we get it. Ariana Grande is Italian. We will buy tickets to her next show, so stop emailing, DMing, slacking us, and whatnot. We were wrong, and I should have caught this in post. I will do better next time.
Great show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We got Riker. We got Burning Cinnamon. We also have Armstead and special guest Salted Caramel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guests. And Stylish, welcome our guests, ladies and gentlemen. Say something, both of you guys. One at a time. First, Salted Caramel.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
All right. And Stylish, say something better.
Hello, I'm glad to be here with you guys.
There we go. Proper introductions.
Excellent. Perfect introductions. But what I want to say is fuck Amber Guyger.
Man, oh man.
She only got 10 years.
All right. So everyone should be familiar with the case in this room, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a lot of anger going on right now.
Yeah, first, let's call out anger. We'll start there. A lot of people were mad on the internet that the family hugged her, or it was her brother, right? His brother.
Yeah, just a brother, yeah. The family in general.
And they handed him a Bible, right?
The judge. So the judge
would be
also gave her a hug and handed her a Bible.
So we should take those as two separate entities. Let's go around the room. Let's start with our guest.
We're going to talk about that police.
Wait. So
we're going to talk about the police officer?
Yeah.
Let's add one more point to that, because the third thing was that the bailiff went over to her and fixed her hair.
It doesn't mean anything to me, but as a woman, it probably means something to you, because I wouldn't fix no woman's hair. So that's why.
But it's not even. I think it's a symbolism of her doing that, because it's like it's just this support group for someone who just got convicted of killing somebody in their own home.
A murderer, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you let's start with the brother. How do y'all feel about the brother?
Man, fuck that nigga. That's what I'm saying. Coming hard from downtown, man. I ain't got no time for nobody feeling sorry for somebody who murdered their brother. I get the fact that this man should be allowed to grieve the way that he wants to. But as Eric Gardner's wife said, hell no, I don't want no goddamn apology for nobody who murdered my motherfucking husband. Or in this case, brother. Because fuck it, man. We've already seen too many times black people are expected to give into this forgiveness mantra bullshit. And man, it's over. Time's done.
Wow. Let's go next with Stylish.
Wow. I'm going to have to disagree a little bit there in saying that fuck the brother and stuff, though, because kind of like what you said. We need. Not that we need it.
We should.
No. Sorry. My mind's down to blank right now. Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
The train never left the station, ladies and gentlemen.
It kind of has a little bit, though, because they're not getting into the subject here, though.
I think I may know what he's trying to say.
Well, I got you, though. The thing with the brother is him and his whole family should be allowed to grieve and deal with this however they need to deal with it, though. And I think it's, to me, I'm kind of find it sad that we're sitting here and criticizing him about that. I don't see, how this is making it. Here's the thing. A lot of people have said, okay, this makes us look weak, or this makes him look weak, or whatever that is, though. For me, I don't see how us criticizing him for doing this thing it was pretty hard for him and his whole family to do, honestly. And they could have been just like everyone else and just was like, yeah, fuck it, and got into that situation where they're just like, okay, we're gonna be mad and bitter about it. They decided to do something that was probably really, really hard to do, and I'm pretty sure they thought about this over the past year since this happened and stuff, though.
So, quick question.
Yes.
So you're saying that the emotional reaction that we got from people cannot advance any kind of situation, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're okay with how he responded?
Here's the thing, I accept how they responded. Okay. I want to say, this is something that I would have done, or that should have needed to be done, though. But again, I just respect how they responded to it, though. Because definitely cited their Christian faith and reasoning behind doing it. And even though me not even being a Christian or anything, too, I can respect that.
Yeah, they got videos of him up in the church. They got his last. Yeah. It was just odd to see him in the church. Riker, no, Armstead.
Okay, I feel what he's saying on that, and I kind of agree with him. And the reason I agree with him is because we already got a lot of hatred in this world that don't need to be spread no more than what it really is. I honestly feel like whatever he did, whatever her sentence should have been.
Yes, it should.
No matter what, whether he hugged her or told her to kiss his dick in the middle of the damn courtroom.
What he should have done,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But that I actually don't feel like he should have hate in his heart like that, because they don't do them, but just lead to more, hateful shit,
Yeah, man. Would have been a great Bible story if, we just decided, hey, man, you know what? You said you was going to kill my family. I'm young King David. I'm just going to embrace you with warm heart. Nah, nigga, you fucking kill them. You fucking murder them and everyone who used to know them. That is how we do things biblically, all right?
Salted caramel, your response.
That's one of the ways.
I mean, just to piggyback off of that sentiment, I think that for his own healing or mental health or whatever, he needed that for closure. Exactly. And that's understandable, but I felt like that should have been done in private. It shouldn't have been done in front of the media, because I think that the outrage comes from all of these other unjust shootings that has happened where the officer involved hasn't faced any legal consequences. So the outrage comes from us collectively feeling like we finally have accountability for one person who did it. And here we have this kumbaya moment when we're like, oh no, not yet. There's more justice that needs to be served as far as the community is concerned outside of that. So I feel like if they wanted to have that kind of closure, they shouldn't have done it in that arena. They should have done it in private for their own personal whatever. Like, I don't feel like it should have been done in the media, because now it's kind of like, well, are we saying we're over all the other unjust shootings that have happened where the officer wasn't held accountable?
So like hearing that, it kind of sounds like, it's like, oh, we're going to keep the anger in the media, but to ourselves, we're going to keep it peace.
Well, no, not necessarily that, because there are people who are now going to be even more angry because he hugged her.
People going,
so
but people going to be angry
it's not
either
like
way.
That really,
because of the whole situation. People always,
I feel like the most recent development, which is the main witness that testified in the shooting, was then shot in the face and
in
the
the
chest
mouth.
and died.
In the mouth.
So this is incorrect. Lee Merritt, an attorney who represents Jean's family in the lawsuit, initially tweeted that Brown had been shot in the mouth and chest, but later backed off that statement, saying he'd heard from a witness who said Brown had been shot in the side and buttocks. A government official who spoke to the Dallas Morning News on the condition of anonymity said he was shot in the back and thigh.
Okay.
If she appeals the case, the witness isn't alive anymore to testify.
Okay, so hold on. Before we move on to that, though, this something I did want to add, though, is that I did watch an interview where the brother, like after all this stuff happened, he did say that he did not know the cameras were even on during the when all that happened and stuff. Though I don't think that anyone knew that. He thought it was like all the cameras off, everybody had left already, and I think that's kind of why he did it.
Been on the whole case. And
well, this is what he's but like this is what he believed, though.
Overall,
So
I didn't give my sentiments.
Yeah,
I want to tell y'all what happened is what was to be expected. All right, I did a little research. All right, he gonna have to do some counter research, but the numbers is close. All right, I think I looked up how many prisons are in like jails and prisons, and it was like 440, I believe, prisons. And then I looked up like, how many of those prisons are for men? And I looked up, okay, how many of those prisons are for females? And then they had co-gender prisons in Texas. Cool. I want to tell y'all something that y'all niggas aren't getting it. You don't understand. This goes back to one of my original statements. Women are never held accountable. You want to know why? Typically, women get lesser time for murder cases in general, right?
Our read is right here when it comes to federal cases. If you're a criminal defendant, it generally helps a lot to be a woman. Citing Professor Sonia Starr's research on federal cases in her paper, Estimating Gender Disparities in Federal Criminal Cases, she closely examined a large data set of federal cases and found stunning revelations in 2012. After controlling for the arrest offense, criminal history, and other prior statistics or characteristics, men receive 63% longer sentences than women do on average, and women are twice as likely to avoid incarceration if they're even convicted. This gender sentencing gap is about 6 times as large as a racial disparity gap that the same professor found in another paper. Links to this information below, and even a video from a conservative think tank kind of glossing over this.
If you had to guess, do you guess that?
I mean, I want to argue with you, but I don't have anything in front of me.
I want to argue with you because what about the woman in Florida who fired the warning shot and got 24 years?
No, she's black though.
She was black. Black over red.
We're not even doing that.
But she's a woman.
Women get less time for murder. I could just say this. I didn't do any research on that, and you can guess. Anybody, if you had to guess, would you say that was true?
So that means that the judge coming giving her the Bible, the brother forgiving her, that's all a part of, it's all a part of that culture where they're not held accountable for in the same way that we're held accountable.
We're going to start from the top. She's a woman. First, women aren't held accountable the same for murder as men.
They're more willing to
be.
show compassion for women. Yeah.
All right.
So just like with this case right here, like she got this lowered sentence just because like the jurors felt that
They were sympathetic to her.
Yeah, that's it. They felt
Second
sympathetic.
thing,
Yeah.
she's white. Right?
I think that should be first because
no, woman's first because we're in a
He gonna
different
stick
kind of
with that.
society. Then the third thing,
Because she's white.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a cop.
Yep.
Also true.
So how much time did you really expect her to get?
I mean, I just wanted her to do at least life, 20 years. That's all I wanted. I don't want her to do nothing ridiculously long. I just wanted 20 years.
She took a life, so she should get a life.
so
Correct.
So if let's just say the roles were reversed and it was a black man
You're gonna
that
get more time because
went into
number one, you're
her
a man.
apartment and shot her while she was sitting there eating
That's
ice
not how it
cream.
works though. Women, they only have 11 jails for women in Texas. 11. They have like 440 jails total.
Okay.
So our read's right on this specifically, but also kind of off overall. So I'm going to correct this in one place so as not to disrupt the whole flow of the episode. There are not 400 something prison and jails in Texas alone, and certainly not that many just for men. There are about 103 total criminal justice facilities for men and women, both state and privately owned in Texas. For women, there's 1 transfer, 1 substance abuse, 2 jails, and 9 prisons for women. So yes, our read is correct, and of course the links are in the show notes or on our Instagram.
That's crazy.
If you get time as a woman, it's because you did something that was really fucking wrong.
You gotta kill your kids and some shit like that.
Okay, so then how is the crime rates looking compared from men to women though?
Oh, the crime rates do follow more closely the pattern that you're implying. But at the same time, I mean, if you look at the black guy, what is this, Noor, the guy who killed the Australian woman who came to the United States, her father said, I do not fucking forgive you. He did not say, hey, fucking compassion. Oh, this is a hard time for us. He's like, no, I will never forgive you. You have taken something away from me that I will never be able to get back.
How much time did he get?
He only got 12 years. And because he had 3rd degree because she did not apply. She did not fucking listen to a police officer. But the time for forgiveness was before you pulled the trigger. In the words of the old school people, when you seek revenge, you make sure that you dig 2 graves. And I'm pretty sure the father from this would gladly have dug a grave if he could throw Noor in there. And the same thing probably for Eric Gardner's wife.
Right.
But the brother here, I get the fact that maybe he didn't intend for this to become a political thing. But as a black person, you always have to be cognizant of that because everything that you do is going to be highly scrutinized.
Correct.
And also, you have to be cognizant of the fact that the media wanted to turn this into a narrative.
Exactly.
So if your family is like, you know what, we want to stay out of this, write the bitch a letter from prison. All right? She gonna be there for some time.
And that was my point. Like, don't publicly do it because then the media is going to take that. And that was the next headline. Brother of murder victim hugs, accuser or whatever. Like,
Was that a media headline?
Yeah, that was like a huge
I just
narrative.
saw
That's
it
what
in-
everyone talks
I saw
about.
it shared in memes. I didn't see it as like
Yeah, no,
No,
that's
that
what
was
everyone
on-
That's what everyone talks about when this case comes up, though.
yeah, that's what they talk about. The fact that he was so forgiving. It's the same
Yeah.
thing they did
Well-
with the people that got shot in a church in, what was that, South Carolina?
Yep.
Yeah.
The first thing they did was talk about how the victims were so willing to forgive. Like, that's the narrative when it comes to us and injustice. We should be forgiving.
I guess that's why a lot of black people are kind of pulling away from religion a little bit too, I guess.
No, they're pulling away from religion because they don't like structure.
No, that's not true. They're pulling away from religion because it's the problem of suffering. So that's been something that's been highly debated across theological circles for forever.
Yeah.
Like, it's very hard for you to say, hey, man, God is just and God is kind when you see niggas in Africa who were just born as babies getting raped and all kinds of other shit just because they happen to grow up in, let's say, not Africa. Let's throw fucking Sudan under the boat.
I hate that dynamic. You want to know why? Because are you asking for God or are you asking for Superman?
Well, what people want is they just want to grow up. Like, if we really want to have the conversation, a lot of people just want it to where for the first 18 years of your life, you just bad shit can't happen to you. Like, maybe you could
That's
be a
not
little
how it
hungry.
works, though.
I'm not saying that's how it works, but
Job?
But the problem with the parables of Job is that God literally had a bet with Satan, like, "Hey, my nigga Job, nothing nothing change."
You
And
think that bet won't apply to you?
It's Satan like, "Throw them dice, God.
Yeah.
Throw them dice. I
You
bet
think that bet won't apply to you?
sir." But when you see Job, God literally lets his entire family die a horrible death. Now his wife, fuck her. She's like, curse God and die, and then she just killed over. It's like you defeated the point. when you die. But
Oh my God.
for all of these things, when you have these problems that are specifically happening to black and brown people of all across the world, it makes people wonder, like, why is all this stuff happening to us over and over and over and over and over again? And it just seems like white people both
my
don't
question-
care and are
No,
apathetic.
because they're not the ones who are going to solve problems they don't give a fuck about.
Well-
you need to get in these systems. The government.
Well, my question is, why is it happening now? Because it's
always-
like we've
Yeah,
been
I think
getting
it's
shit
always
on.
been happening. It's just now
We've been getting shit on for a long time.
But now,
the
like,
open.
it's expected though for you to return to that way of being like, yes, boss. We's a real sad that Miss Lady had to done kill that black man in his apartment. But you know, boss, it is what it is. We all make mistakes.
It's not always the same though. Like comparing Trayvon Martin to the guy in St. Louis. Somebody give me a name. Brown.
I'm trying to think. No, not Mike Brown. Because Mike Brown did that shit to himself.
Okay,
That's
let's
the
go
shit
with
we
the guy in New York.
unpopular
Eric Garner.
opinion.
Let's go with Eric Garner.
Philander Castile or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Philando
Okay,
Castile,
comparing
yeah.
those two, like you can't. And that's the funny thing about the justice system. It only goes by what happens, and usually these cases that get very popular are kind of weird. Even when you talk about drug cases, if I get caught with a pound here and I get caught with a pound there, it may be different. And
But people are talking about that as well, because there's a well-known black guy who I'll add in right here. So this was Anthony Carter, and he was sentenced to 90 years in 2017 for intent to distribute synthetic marijuana. Even the NAACP held a protest, but more on the story after I finished messing it up in production. And he got 34 years, I believe, for fucking selling marijuana. And literally,
How much
Amber
marijuana?
got it was like 3 pounds.
Yeah, they were both in Texas.
that is too long for 3 pounds of marijuana.
But the
is
thing
very
about it is,
good. Yeah,
he's
coke
in
and
jail
guns
now.
and-
Man, he had to have had something else.
No. He just had marijuana. It's
What
just a
was it?
marijuana.
Just
Yeah,
marijuana?
what state?
Just marijuana. It's Texas. As I stated a moment ago, Anthony Carter got 90 years in prison after he sold products containing outlawed synthetic cannabinoids out of his 3 smoke shops in Lubbock. It only took those fuck nigga ass jurors an hour and 15 minutes before returning to the 137th District Court, finding Mr. Carter guilty as charged of first-degree felony count of possession with intent to deliver more than 400 grams, which is about 0.88 of a pound, of chemical compound containing fluoro-ADB, which was outlawed by Texas legislators in 2015. Now you might be asking yourself, why, Riker, does this matter, since it sounds like the man is guilty? And you would be wrong. The reason this matters is because Mr. Carter believed his products were legal, so he sold it in stores just like any other products and paid sales tax for every transaction, just like any other legitimate businessman. This is because Mr. Carter sent those products to an independent DEA certified laboratory that didn't find anything illegal in the chemicals outlined in a 2013 Texas law or the DEA law. However, the lab didn't test for chemical structures outlawed by the state in 2015. Adding further salt into this wound, in this miscarriage of justice, is that about 385 miles south in San Antonio, Abdul Ghaffar, which I'm assuming needs to be pronounced like Jafar, only got 7 years for a similar crime in which he knowingly distributed and possessed with intent to distribute 40,000 pounds. I repeat, 40,000 pounds of synthetic cannabinoids. So to any people who believe Amber Guyger got sentenced properly compared with similar crimes, get the fuck out of here. That blue wall of silence shielded her even when she was found to be guilty. Links to everything below, as well as in the show notes and on Instagram. Marijuana at all is a federal fucking offense. There's no local.
Yeah, because it's considered a stage 1 narcotic, right?
No, I thought it was a stage 2.
Stage 2? I thought it was stage 1.
You know, we'll check that. Yeah.
It's on the same thing as crack.
It's the same thing, yeah. It's on the same spectrum as crack. And Amber's going to come in for like 10 years. Our read was right here and I was wrong. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug, which means there's no quote-unquote accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. It sits there along with heroin, ecstasy, and LSD. Cocaine, however, from which crack is derived, is a Schedule 2 drug, which has the above designations, but also includes that it's dangerous with potential for severe psychological and physical dependence. And then when
5.
she leaves, yeah, realistically, she's going to get
With
parole.
five,
in
with
5.
arrested 5 on parole. That's
Yeah,
what they said.
5 and then 5
what
on
they said.
parole with good behavior.
Then she's gonna go back to her job and get a raise.
No, she can't.
No,
get
she can't ever
caught
become a
no
police officer
more.
again. But she'll work security. So she might have the opportunity
And
to
she
do this
got
again.
a body on her, even though it's a nigga sitting down eating ice cream. She got a body on her.
Yeah, she got a body on her, and she'll probably be able to regain her gun rights because whoever the governor
It's
is for Texas will probably pardon her, because all you need to get your gun rights in the state that you live in is for the governor to pardon you. So last but not least in my corrections. In Texas, upon the completion of 5 years post-prison or a pardon, you can regain some gun rights. The short version of this is the ability to defend your homestead. However, let me lay out exactly how easy it will be for Amber to get her gun rights when she gets back out. Under Texas Article 48.05, the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, individuals with a federal or foreign conviction that takes away their civil rights may file for an application of restoration of their civil rights. This article is supposed to not allow violent offenders to regain access to guns, but the application must be submitted to the sheriff in the county in which the applicant currently resides or where he or she resided at the time of conviction. So Amber will have to submit this to some of the same people she may have worked with previously who likely believe she probably got a bad deal and shouldn't have been found guilty at all. Now, let us know via Instagram, where you can email us at everydayblackman@gmail.com. If you really think this chick won't be getting her gun rights back so that another innocent black man can die at her tainted hands. Links below and of course on our Instagram and show notes.
They'll give her a job as like a receptionist or something in the DPD. And
The point is her life's not over. So
Correct.
she's going to be able to, could go back into society.
What should be
And
our message? Overviewing. Like I told you, we need to get involved in government. At that time in the 70s and 80s when they were coming, my dad went to school to be a lawyer. He didn't finish, of course. But like that ambition has lost us in this generation. And I'm just like, how do we recapture it? Like I'm like telling my daughter, like you want to be a lawyer or a doctor and work for the federal government.
Well,
and make
part
shit
of it is we
wages?
need more black firms. Like after the fall of Johnny Cochran's firm, a lot of people became disillusioned because Johnny Cochran made people want to be it, and then he died like right after the OJ thing, and niggas was just
That nigga died like last 3 or 4 years. That nigga didn't die that. It took a while.
nah, he didn't take a while. Johnny Cochran died early. Look it up. Look it up.
He died early as an age, but
When did he die?
Recently.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran died in 2005, nigga. This nigga been dead 14 years.
He has.
Yes.
The OJ Simpson trial happened like 96 though.
Yeah.
He said he died immediately.
No, I said he died like right after that. Like
That
he
wasn't
is-
right after that. It was like 10 years.
Nigga, that wasn't 10 years. That was 9. Full of shit. But nah, like he died.
Hey, I got a question. Where were y'all when the OJ Simpson verdict came across?
Nigga, I
don't remember.
I was at school and the teachers were celebrating.
Yep, OJ
Oh,
Simpson,
Jesus.
man. That OJ Simpson case was just. It was
We was in the same place. We went to school together.
No, I think it was in elementary school.
That was
then.
94 to
94.
97.
That's a long.
Jeez, that's a
case.
long ass case. Man, them jurors were probably pissed.
Yeah, boy,
Because it's like you making $25 what a day or some shit. We need to look up what California paid jury people. But you got to think, you've been stuck as part of this trial for that whole time. No way to get out. You're just stuck.
Why
You
is
probably-
that, man? Do y'all feel like I feel like off subject,
Unless you're
kind
salaried.
of sort of. I feel like if you do a jury, you should make more.
Oh, we all think that you should make more, but this is the
Definitely.
government we're
It's
talking
your
about.
civic duty.
And also, yeah, it's your duty to, judge people.
Yeah, I know, but
of your peers.
I feel
Would
that.
you rather had a government judge you or a jury?
No,
of your peers?
don't
Okay.
get me wrong. I feel that, but I feel like at least like give a brother like 10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him sit
I
up there.
think you should get 10 an hour.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that this is the government we're talking about.
Don't give me $25 and have me up there for 12
They
hours.
see you
They don't pay for
check.
niggas to have defenders.
And then they
All
send me a
Armstead, do you really think if they don't pay for niggas to be defended properly that they gonna pay you for sitting in a
Man,
jury
you know how
box?
much
they-
money you got to make to get a public defender?
Plus, they give you
Do
food.
they take taxes out of that too?
Oh yeah, they take taxes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's messed up.
Nigga, what you think
God.
this is? It's the federal government. Yeah, you
my
better
goodness.
you better claim that $25 that you don't
Yeah,
got.
but niggas,
Like 50.
stop getting mad and reacting to shit.
'Cause
You
people
free,
feel-
nigga. Act like it.
And that's the thing. I think going back to the point about you saying why don't we have more, I guess, ambitious people in what's that, Gen Z or whatever?
Gen X.
Hell,
Gen
nigga,
X?
you become a
Nah,
lawyer.
it's
now.
Z.
I
It's Z.
think-
It's Z. You're right.
I think
X abandoned us.
we kind of have to take accountability too, because like the parents
Oh,
of those children.
We're Gen Y, so how can we take accountability for kids we didn't have?
Well,
them,
I mean-
them Gen X kids.
I mean, the parents and the community
some of
as a
us.
whole, as far as exposing them to the things that we want them to.
we had this whole conversation last podcast, literally last podcast. Check it out if you hadn't checked it out. Lying for sexual gratification.
Call back.
People can't do that when they work in these jobs and they got kids and they got all this other stuff. Now, it's nice and it's cute when somebody brings their child into the voting booth, but nigga, you tell me you're gonna bring your child to the voting booth every 2 to 4 years? Probably not.
I
And
don't
also
even think I'm gonna
schools
vote this time.
and also, schools don't acknowledge that. A lot of schools are like, oh, you want to bring your kids to voting? Well, that's not a valid excuse. It's like, Nigga, making them informed civil servants, because eventually we're all going to be civil servants one way or another, isn't a part that you should care about.
So who should I be voting for, ladies and gentlemen? Who should I be voting for?
I mean, you should vote for the people who have a black agenda, as Killer Mike talked about 2 podcasts
Okay, then who
ago.
should you be voting for?
Who should we be voting for right now? I mean, right now we kind of in a tough spot because libertarians is full of shit and Democrats is kind of unless you live in the city, in which case you can vote for Democrats that actually do things.
And Republicans are kind of like, nah.
It's not even Republicans kind of like, nah. Republicans are like, hey, nigga,
Who
we want
you
you to
voting
cut
for
your
for
dick
president?
off.
Well, they're self-imploding, so I say just let
Who, the
them.
Democrats? Or the
No.
Republicans?
Oh.
Well, they're both self-imploding, but I think the Republicans are a little bit more.
Because they got the neoliberals up here, and that's who they're trying
Neoliberals
to
on
get.
top. They just like the G's.
Yeah, they all they care about is that they love Pete Buttigieg. Where do you think he's getting this money from? All right, Bernie Sanders is a very popular guy, but they want Warren because they think she's going to be the
Just
more
had a heart
progressive.
attack, so.
We was just about to talk
I
about
still
that.
vote for that motherfucker. We
Exactly.
transition, ladies and gentlemen. We're transitioning, ladies and gentlemen.
He's gonna be
Bernie
fine.
Sanders had a mild heart arrhythmia.
I
issue.
think the system. I think the point of 45 is the system's broken. It's breaking, and I feel like we should just let it break.
No, because the problem is that by doing that, 45 will put immigrant kids in jails. He's not
Which
that
they
far-
already are.
Yeah, but he's not that far away from putting your child in jail. He doesn't give a fuck
I
about.
care more about my kids than immigrant kids.
No, because these are going to be the same people who are going to be having these kids.
He paints them all with the same brush, so it doesn't matter. And whatever he can do to them, he'll be
No,
able to
but
do to
the
you.
problem I have is Democrats treat them better than they want to treat the citizens that are already here.
No. They treat them better than they treat blacks, all right? Everybody treats blacks at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. So
That's-
yeah, fuck y'all.
No, it's not fuck them. I think that what Killer Mike said that we talked about 2 podcasts ago is right. Like, literally, we just need people to be like, look, this is a black agenda. We all gonna be on the same accord, just like a monolith, regardless of whether you care about what somebody doing with they self, blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. If they black, we all gonna be on code the same way these white supremacists be on code.
Which is what Republicans have done. They stay on message.
Correct.
Regardless of what side of the spectrum they are as far as their conservatism, they stay on message. Democrats don't even have a message for 2020.
No, they
What
do
is
have a
the
message
message?
for 2020.
What's
which
the
is-
message?
Which is,
Medicare
y'all
for
need to
all.
stop talking about them gay people like that. And it's
No,
like,
no,
nobody
no,
says
it's
anything.
anybody but Trump, and that's not strong enough to get elected.
Well,
It's not.
You see how they putting up Warren up there? You know Warren polls lower with black people than Trump.
Really?
Warren goes so low because Warren ain't worried about the black vote. And to be honest, she really doesn't have to.
She
if we want to
should.
kick the facts.
If
we
she's
want-
not winning the election without the black
If
vote.
we want to kick the facts, she don't have to come to black people till late. The same way that y'all, salted caramel.
Y'all.
Black women voted last time. Hillary Clinton didn't give a fuck about none of us.
Wait a minute.
Black men. She came out late out the gate from black women. And black women were like, oh my
I got hot
look at
sauce
her
I got hot
Swag.
sauce in my
She got
my
hot sauce
oh
in
my
her
goodness.
bag. Swag.
I remember that shit. I remember that.
So yeah, she doesn't really have to worry about the black male vote. At the same time, the problem and the thing that's going to get Elizabeth Warren
Ain't no
is
way
the
they
fact
gonna vote
is
for
that
women.
she doesn't have a cohesive message. Whether you like it or not,
She has a plan for that. That's her message.
I have a plan for that is not strong enough to win anything. Everyone else has an actual message. Whether you love them or you hate them,
Who's
you
your
got
favorite candidate around the room?
who? What you want to go? You really want to do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's Yang Gang a whole day.
Yang gang all day, baby.
Wow.
Who you? No, don't care. No.
I really haven't. I literally haven't
Stop.
decided yet. Really,
This is
honestly.
the problem with black folks. We're not even prepared.
And
Very
Yeah,
indecisive.
you're not voting, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you're basically a piece of shit.
Gang.
You know what? We're gonna talk about that all off pod.
But my
Bar
problem
we
with
can't
that,
be going out
problem
like that.
with gang is it benefits white people too.
Well, no, the problem with Yang Gang isn't that. The only problem with Yang Gang is the fact that he's having to fight so much just to be seen
Be counted.
on mainstream
I mean,
media.
Oh, they see him. They just ignore him.
Yeah,
But-
he's already written off, man.
I did I'm about to call these
Like-
people out, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, on our podcast, and I don't give a fuck what they say. I did a recent, what do they call them? I guess poll testing.
Oh, so they came to you and asked you questions about candidates.
And they showed all the candidates, but they didn't show him. So I was like, I'm going to vote for him. Like, I am going to vote for him.
Yeah, like most of like the political podcasts I listen to and stuff. That they kind of just write him off like, oh, Yang, he's just there. Nobody cares about him. Like, he's written off already.
BBC research.
Yeah.
VBC research.
Yeah, they had everybody on their little list. They had Pete Buttigieg and Kamala.
The angel that has fallen from the stars and hit the ground.
Fuck her. And Beto O'Rourke.
First and foremost, nobody gives a shit
list.
about Beto O'Rourke other than people who
He
literally...
is crazy.
It's not even that he's crazy. No one cares. Until you can win something, no one cares. I'm sorry. You're a loser. No matter what you want to say about anybody else up there, they've done things. Yang runs a successful business. Everyone else up there got elected. What have you done, Beto? What have you done? You ran one time and lost to fucking that other nigga?
Who do you lose to? Tom Cruise?
Ted Cruz.
Tom Cruise, what?
And Ted Cruz literally got a cool nigga beard after he beat you. And now he's more relatable and talking to Ocasio-Cortez.
Talking to her about what?
Just about how, hey, maybe we don't agree on the same things here, but we can maybe move the needle forward.
She is crazy.
I don't think she's crazy. I think that she's super ambitious, and people don't like that from a woman. At the same time, she's just great enough to keep getting elected. Because the Republican that Republicans put out there, that's not a woman. That is a cyborg. That is a Terminator that y'all have picked out there. Like, the woman that is going against Ocasio-Cortez, she's literally, when you look at her, you're like, I wouldn't sit down and I wouldn't fuck you.
Isn't she like Jamaican or something like that?
Not even Jamaican. They tried to go for another Hispanic thing, but it's like, she looks like the type of person you would bring out of a Telemundo's thing, and they'd be like, oh my God, how could this have happened? I ended up with the pool boy. That's not realistic.
You like her? Salted caramel?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I think she's a little extreme.
Yeah, she's crazy as fuck.
I think she's a little extreme. I think
she's 100 years too
I
early.
think she has good intentions, and she's representing a more progressive region.
Did you see that guy troll her on the floor?
But
people troll her all the time.
No,
Like,
that shit was hilarious.
What do you say?
He had put Ronald Reagan on a Velociraptor and said, "This is how much the Green New Deal has to do with climate change."
that's not really trolling. It
is hilarious. I'll send it to you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was trolling her.
Yeah, please share that. That sounds hilarious.
It is hilarious. That's like they said the Green New Deal. You remember that other person in our group shared the pictures of the baby? Mm-hmm. Like, if you really want to stop climate change, eat babies.
No, that was what some crazy white woman said in the middle of the thing.
What?
So there was a white woman who was in the middle
that.
of one of these political things where they were talking to people and getting their opinions. And she just stands up. She's like, if we really want to stop climate control or climate change, we just have to eat babies. And like everybody's like, no, we're not. Cut her mic. We're not.
I hated that came out because
babies?
I hated that came out because like people like certain conservatives are using that as
Not
talking
some,
points.
A fucking ton.
Yeah,
of them
they're
like,
using it as talking
They
points.
want to eat babies.
They want to eat babies.
No, it's one crazy white woman.
No, you don't even have to use crazy stuff. The problem with the whole climate change argument is they're too extreme.
No.
The world was supposed to end 20 years ago, bro. The world was supposed to end 2000, 2010, 2050.
That wasn't climate change. That was Y2K.
That was Y2K, nigga.
And some Bible
I'm just saying, they sound
prophecy.
Like
that was a biblical prophecy that was supposed to end, nigga. Nigga, if you look at the book of Matthew and then you cross-line that with the book of James.
Al Gore made the tipping point, and the world's supposed to be ended by now.
First and foremost, nobody fucking take Al Gore seriously. Do not put him in climate change.
I think the epicenter of all these issues is the fact that as a culture we're lazy.
Yeah.
So cancel culture and the bandwagon culture, it's like, okay, this is what this sounds good, so I'm gonna follow that.
Yes, exactly.
This person
You're
sounds
canceled,
right.
R. Reed. We're canceling you.
That's exactly a problem, and that's exactly why the system, our voting system, doesn't work that much either, because nobody's really assertive enough to just go out there and do the research they need to do to figure out like who.
If they had a week to do so.
No, but I mean it's unwarranted because we have all this technology that it's going to help us if we really do want to do our own research.
Yes, but you're assuming the average person is smarter than you think they.
The average person can Google.
No, the average person is a fucking idiot who believes fucking fake news. Let's put that out there. Average people.
What's real news though?
Exactly. See, this is the kind of contrarian stuff that people deal with,
bro. When I get all my information from is Breitbart and Wikipedia, all right? Breitbart said Trump is innocent. Okay?
Breitbart said Trump is innocent.
And that's another part of the problem because, I mean, I try to watch news from various sources, but like...
No.
Fox News you can't watch.
You can't watch MSNBC. It's fucking trash.
No, I'm not saying MSNBC.
CNN is trash.
No, CNN is trash, but at least when they put something forward,
they heading toward trash.
Random man runs for president. That's how they describe Andrew Yang.
I get the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, because CNN has a vested interest in the status quo. So they always put some bullshit up there. Whereas MSNBC and Fox News are just like, who can out crazy the other person? Oh, you know what? Trump
for a woman because they're not corruptible.
And it's for-profit media, so they're there for the clicks. They're there
Don't get it wrong. TYT is some neoliberal scum too.
Oh no,
and I used to like
TYT. It's progressively gotten worse year after year. And the thing about it is, you'll see one segment by them, you'll be like, damn, y'all killed that. And you'll see next segment by them, you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Vice has gotten
But
bad.
the thing about Vice is that Vice has always been kind of like edgelord stuff, and now it's just like
now they're trying to get into the.
And I think it's one of the side effects of 45. Like he's literally succeeded at turning everything into a reality situation.
But it wasn't 45 that
a
started
reality show situation.
But I think
he's
amplified
accelerated though. He's amplified it.
Yeah.
So now it's all about the drama and the story and the juice and the gossip. It's not about the facts and the actual
news. But it's been like that with reality TV for some time, and reality TV is the most watched type of fucking
right. And now it's just it's pervasive into every other aspect of media.
We don't talk about what the fuck is he doing nowadays?
What is Trump doing?
Yeah, how was he able to send 800 and something tweets?
I can't. This nigga is sending more tweets per hour than niggas sending in a year.
Like what?
Nothing.
He's sitting there having a meltdown right now,
trying to figure out how to keep his ass out of jail.
I mean, he's not gonna end up in jail. If he gets impeached, he won't. Nothing will really happen to him other than that he'll have a scar on his name, and that's really the only thing that he cares about. Like if they really say that they're gonna do the articles of impeachment and they bring him against him, he'll probably fucking quit. Because the thing about Trump is Trump doesn't like for anything to look bad. He doesn't care about how things actually are.
It's all about the optics for him in everything.
No, because Obama took knock after knock, and even George W. Bush, as much as I hate to fucking say it, he took
that shit really well.
Hits straight to the chin.
But the optics stood his peers, not optics in general.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody really was going to challenge either of those two.
Correct.
Because if you challenged Obama, you seem like a racist. And if you challenged George W. Bush, you're not loyal to the party, but the party, bro.
Oh, they got after his ass in the last.
How many of us think 45 is going to get reelected?
He is.
Because I think he will.
At the current rate,
I think so. I don't know.
Probably he will get reelected only because Democrats are going to pull that whole thing that they just won their Supreme Court battle over, which is we can elect whoever the fuck we want.
No.
And if you do that,
they're going to put Warren or Biden up there.
Yeah, Biden's Hillary.
No, they're not going to put
2016
Biden up there because Biden at this point in
Warren
time has killed his own campaign, which has been hilarious to watch because the more Trump kind of like basically
but that was predictable though because he could never not trip over himself.
But he's basically getting spanked by Trump right now.
He is, and they all are going to be because what they don't understand is he doesn't play by rules.
Taking it, he's taking. The thing about it is, as a man, you can't just take shit. Like if Elizabeth Warren gets spanked by Trump, we're all like, oh, how could you attack that poor woman? But if you, as a man, Armstead, get attacked by another man, he's a fucking pussy.
Well, I think Democrats have a certain strategy right now because everything's like really delicate right now with this whole impeachment thing, and they don't want Biden going out there and just don't like this.
But Biden doesn't care about rules because Biden opened his goddamn mouth way too many times during Obama's presidency.
Yeah, I mean he did. Though,
the Democrats have been handling this whole situation with kitty gloves since before the Mueller report, and it hasn't changed. And
it wasn't kitty gloves with the Mueller report. They were like, the Mueller report's gonna change the world. The Mueller report's got all these things. When you guys see the Mueller report, and then we got it. It's just a big fucking sack of
nothing.
Don't do shit.
Basically,
it's basically Mueller saying, "Oh look, I can't tell you if the president is really a good president." It's like, nigga, you could have saved 500 pages by just saying, "Look, I'm not able to say that the president should be impeached. Do I think he's innocent? No, but I can't say that he should be impeached."
They didn't even. I mean, he was a Republican. He is a Republican. So what did they expect?
Republicans, because even what's his name is on Bill Maher's show talking about fuck Trump. The old Republican leader of the RNC.
Not Carson.
No. You mean Steele?
Michael Steele.
Michael Steele.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always on what's the name show nowadays.
Well, even like Joe Walsh is like coming out now like, Trump deserves to be like some of the old guards.
Well, of course he is because he's running against them too now.
They're trying to get
though. Well, the reason that Joe Walsh is running against him because he's like, look, you niggas really just completely off base. Like, it's not even conservatism anymore. It's just basically just like, oh, fascism, a 2020 play.
They don't care as long as they got the power to do what they need to do. You
Right.
know, lower taxes. They want to lower taxes again for millionaires.
You mean billionaires? Because those are really the people who benefit. Millionaires, you got more than us, the regular people here, but you didn't get shit compared to them billionaires.
That's why I hate when people go after players of these leagues, because y'all know that's millionaires versus billionaires.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Like, you should just basically be like, the league owners need to actually bend over and give the players whatever they want, because you came to see the players. You didn't give a shit about who was behind the
They
scenes
got it.
doing that other shit.
Billionaires, bro. I don't think people understand how much a billionaire actually has.
Yeah, that's a great segue into the next topic, which is Explain. It's a great show on Netflix. We're going to shout you out. Good job, Netflix. You guys did a great one with this. But we're going to talk about 2 episodes, specifically billions and cults. I'm going to go in the reverse order what I put out here, because apparently I did not actually read what I
I
wrote.
want to start a cult. How can I start a cult?
Well, sir, if you want to start a cult, we can start there instead of with the billionaires. All you need to start a cult is just find people who are going through a crossroads. And then you give them a soft sell. You tell them, hey, man, are you happy? Because that's one of the most generic bullshit questions, because when someone is asked, are they happy? They're almost never going to say the answer is yes. Because when someone makes you think about it, you're like, you know what? Am I happy? Am I
Are you
really
happy, salted caramel?
I am very happy.
But Salted Caramel, he can show you a new reality. He can show you the things that you haven't seen before. And all of that leads you back to our fearless leader, R.
No.
Reed. He's the only one who can take you on this path.
Heighten your
No.
senses.
Heighten your senses.
You just gotta say little
Open your third eye.
bits of wisdom.
But of course, we have to wait out for the enemy. Those damn liberals. Always liberaling it up with their shits.
Wait.
I think it's a combination of things that leads people to that kind of environment.
And that's
Like,
exactly what I was doing.
a lack,
I was going
right?
through exactly the steps of how you get someone
Right.
to
So
join your cult.
there's a certain segment of the population that probably would be a lot less susceptible to that. But I feel like, right now,
All right,
there's
so
a
what makes
lot
you
of...
think they're susceptible to it?
Well, I mean, for example, I think like 45 voters. I think there's a segment of them that have displayed cult-like loyalty to him.
Segment? I would be willing to wager 75%.
70.
Well, I mean,
That's a lot of them.
I
I don't
mean,
think you guys truly understand Trump voters.
No. I'm saying 75% are people who are willing to be part of a cult. All you have to do is basically ignore the bad shit that your people do and just say, fuck it, we're going through with this train. I think
you
70...
don't understand.
there also has to be a level of vulnerability, though, because this person is telling you that I can provide you with something that you can't get on your own.
But he's right when he says that. Because of these... So 100 million people voted in the last election. So let's say 50 million of them voted for Trump. Of that, 1 in 4 of these people is absolutely poor. And probably in one of those towns that used to be, big business. Because most of these people live in towns that used to have one industry. One thing. Maybe 2.
The steel mill and the car plant.
Exactly.
Coal mine.
And the
whatever.
coal mine.
Exactly.
Coal
And
mine.
now all that shit is gone because we've outsourced that shit to other places, or we bought other mills in other places.
Liberals'
or-
fault, apparently.
Automation, technology.
Exactly. And a guy named Donald J. Trump, who you've vaguely heard about from the 80s, as Ari said last
Yeah, he was
episode.
cool in the 80s. Donald Trump was that
He used to
nigga.
be buying shit just to buy shit. He used to be that Ric Flair, but minus the
I'm
wrestling.
trying to think who Donald Trump
Although
would
he
be.
did wrestle.
Who's a cool millionaire nowadays? Billionaire.
That would be Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban kind of epitomizes the coolness.
Don't be surprised if Mark Cuban
He's
becomes
flirted with running, though.
president. No,
he's
don't be
flirted
surprised
with
if he becomes
running.
president. Not
No. He's going to become president, is what he's saying. Mark Cuban, you can
Elon
always
Musk
see everyday
stuff.
black men,
What
shout
is
out to
what
us.
ticket would he be under?
He would probably run as a moderate Republican because that best fits his views.
I can see that.
What, socially liberal and fiscally conservative?
Well, more fiscally conservative, but socially liberal behind closed doors.
Aware?
Oh, aware might be a better thing.
socially
Socially aware. Like, I'm
I
not
think that's
saying
all, man.
that you can date whoever you want, but the government is going to make it to where you can marry anyone who's 18 years or above. And without any sort of caveats. And I'm not going to say that, hey, we think that we should loosen the regulations for LGBT people who want to, get
But I think
adoptions,
most-
but we're going to let that happen.
I think most people have fiscally conservative tendencies, and they're
Americans?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so.
America's fiscally conservative.
No, America's not physically
It's just when you
Our
get
entire
into
economy is
They
run.
say they are.
But what you say you are and what you are is 2 different things. That's why you talk
They
about
both
single
fiscally
mothers
conservative.
all the time, because you say you want a nigga who actually does all these things, but you dating the niggas who ain't shit.
But his dick was slamming.
Exactly. So you're not really
That
conservative,
dick though.
but you're not conservative though.
That
That's what I'm
dick,
saying.
though.
But getting back to the point where I was going, so you have 100 million people here. 50 million of them are, Republican. And of those, I mean, even if we just kick the facts based on basic mathematics as far as how our people income distribution goes, more than like 60% of these people are probably making under $50,000. And then the remainder are somewhere between probably 50 to 100. And then maybe 10% is above 100, and probably realistically maybe only 1%. But the people who really benefit from Trump's policies are the people who are in the 1% or the 0.001% as
They don't believe that though.
But it's not about what they believe. It's about the reality. So when you look at the average...
No, reality doesn't matter if that's what you believe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've talked about Christianity several times. But,
What?
I know. You fell right into
Devil!
You fell right into that.
Burn in hell, you liberal scum!
Exactly. But that's kind of the problem, is that we put forth this system and we're like, oh, Trump aren't members of a cult, but really, are they not? I mean they blindly fall behind whatever Trump says and does.
So we can say the same thing about Obama followers back then.
Oh,
Okay.
most certainly
Can
we
we?
can say the same thing about some
Lord,
Obama
fair.
followers. Like the people were just like, man, you got to vote for him because he's black. Like you got to vote for him because he's
Yeah, I
black.
felt like that was the main thing with that.
Yeah, people kept saying you got to vote for him because he's black.
I mean, I will admit that's one of the main reasons I voted for him initially.
I voted for him on policy reasons.
I voted for him the first time policy. I
Yeah.
voted for
First time,
someone else.
second time because I was just like,
I ain't paying attention to none of
no
that.
goddamn Mormon.
I ain't paying attention to none of that stuff, dog. Policy. What was Obama gonna do? I don't know.
The
He's
big-
black.
the
That's
big
what I
pop-
thought. That's the first time I thought. Like honestly speaking.
Goddamn stylish. Goddamn.
Honestly, what that I mean.
First time he spoke about healthcare, but he said he was going to do a public option, which never happened.
Exactly.
So,
And he was going to close Guantanamo Bay. All his college kids. We was like, yeah, this guy
Fuck about
gets it.
Guantanamo Bay.
Nah, we care a lot about Guantanamo Bay
You
because all
do.
the bad shit
Wow.
happens in
I
Guantanamo
don't
Bay.
care.
I forgot there was a talking point back then too. Like we
That
had to
shit's
close
still
up.
open.
Yeah, Guantanamo Bay to this day is still open. Like,
Yeah.
I don't expect a Republican to close it. I expect it to
about
be
that.
closed by a Democrat. Because really, we don't need Guantanamo Bay. Like, if we want to torture niggas, we just label you not a citizen. We can do whatever you want here. Like, here. Like, we can just do it here. Here.
I
That's
thought
what
the
we've
whole
been
point of Guantanamo Bay was just because we don't want people coming in and talking about they have rights like citizens and stuff.
doing. Nigga, you remember what we did to them like goddamn Iraqis? How many people were actually brought up on charges? What, like 3?
Yeah, but they were at Guantanamo Bay, right?
No, they were in Iraq, and we tortured them on their
Oh,
own
that's
native
Iraq
country.
then. They're
Nigga,
not on American
and
soil.
literally, niggas came out with leaks showing people how badly they were
I remember
tortured.
that.
And average
Hating-ass
American was
niggas.
like,
Yeah, but that's still not American soil though. So I mean,
nigga,
they don't
the
want
things
nobody.
we do to Americans on American soil would make your head spin. That's what I'm saying.
That
like,
just came out in the public, I guess.
exactly. That have come out in the public recently. Or even just like, look at like MK Ultra Project, nigga. We fucking gave niggas LCD just to see what happened. Who were they? Not the Harlem. The Tuskegee experiments.
They gave him herpes or what?
Yeah, we gave him herpes just to see
some kind of STD.
how that happened. Like, the American government doesn't give a fuck about where it does shit. So keeping Guantanamo Bay open is only just a middle finger to like common decency for us. If you're gonna do your shit, you're dirt. Do it at home. That's all I'm saying.
Just do it. I don't give a fuck about torturing them damn terrorists.
Until you become the terrorist and they take away your American
Nigga, I'm
privileges.
already-
But
My phones are right here. They already
cults
heard it.
aside, billionaire, like that's part of the big problem is that we don't know how many billionaires there are. We don't know what their wealth is other than what they say they're worth, and there's really nothing we can do to stop it because we have an entire system that incentivizes billionaires, and we make it to where like 100 people in China became billionaires because their socialist system allowed them to basically take over different industries. That's the same way that the oligarchs rose to power in Russia, because they literally gave them steel, coal, precious metals, all that fun stuff. So we've essentially have designed a game where we're picking and choosing losers. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be wealthy.
Man, you wouldn't care if you
What
were
I'm
one
saying is that we should make it more equal so that people can have more equality. Like, I'm sorry, if you can be able to buy a house, 2 cars, afford 3 kids, because let's be honest, that 2.5 ain't really real anymore. It's
What
really,
is 2.5?
Exactly. That's what we used to say. 2.5. Really, it's 3.
What the fuck was a 0.5?
Nigga, they just put
The
2
animal,
families together. And
dog.
every 2 families you put together, one of them had 3 kids, the other had 2. But as long as you can afford vacations, a nice, decent house, kids, and college, then you're doing okay. But currently, niggas can't afford basic shit
You
like
can't afford a car?
a car. So like
Goddamn.
this wealth shit right
What
now
else?
is
What
just
else
completely
they
out
can't
of whack.
afford? Food?
Yeah, it especially since like, oh, You can't afford food? Well, guess what? I'm a billionaire, and me charting a plane
that's
ride
so
anywhere in
hilarious
the
when
world.
People talk about people with food stamps.
I mean, people. The thing about it is,
Like,
food
nigga.
stamps ain't really that great a program. Like, we act like food stamps is something.
It's really not, and
Something
they've
big.
successfully like.
You gotta have like 12 kids to have good food stamps, or like 7 kids.
Yeah.
I don't think the problem is necessarily like incentivizing billionaires. I think it starts from a system where there's not much. It's not an even playing field. So with those billionaires that own those companies like Amazon that doesn't really pay any taxes, I think that's a route to kind of evening the playing field. And then, having those incentives to become billionaires is kind of why America's America, right?
But
Yeah,
the problem
because,
is that
when you employ thousands of people, you are technically still paying taxes. You know that, right?
yeah, you're technically paying taxes. You're not actually paying taxes, but you're technically paying taxes.
Yeah, but then the ratio of what they're paying compared to what they're making, is that even?
Oh yeah, it's fucking outrageous.
It
that's
can't
part
be
of the
fair.
problem. Well, no, we're not asking for it to be fair. We're asking for a more fair playing field.
Right.
And part of that only comes from millionaires and billionaires paying more so their fair
Paying
share.
their fair
Because
share.
y'all are killing them. Like, where is the middle class?
Well, also, yeah, like we say there's more middle class than ever, but nigga, have you talked to anybody? Like, I think half of these polls are just bullshit.
But what do you? But
is middle?
okay,
People
so
I know
what
middle
is
class
middle
ain't
class
got no damn
though?
Middle
Yeah.
class is people earning about $50,000 a year.
I don't think that's
50,000.
middle class.
I mean, I
That's what
don't
they
think it's
say it
middle
was.
class, but that's what they say.
I think
it is.
that's like the working poor, because what is
50,000 is not
50,000?
That's working.
Depending on how many kids you got.
50,000 for who though? Because if it's just a single person, then yeah, that's middle class. But if you're talking
if it's
about,
2 people, then it should be like more than 50,000.
yeah, it should be around
I think
90.
the middle class is like 70,000 now, right?
Supposedly, the middle class is people earning between $40,000 to $122,000 a year.
For a single income household with kids.
That's different.
No, that's different. That's a different thing. They're just
Yeah.
saying this is what technically qualifies as middle class.
Yeah,
That's
so-
crazy.
I mean, it's a
Until you spend bad, you get your whole paycheck.
See, so
and you
all of
broke.
that stuff has to be fixed though, because the metric that they're using to measure middle class isn't even
Well,
accurate.
Andrew Yang
But we
actually-
talk about that for a long time, and Andrew Yang is just
That
saying
is
has
a
good
huge reason
metric.
why I'm personally Yang Gang,
I'm
because
surprised
I'm trying to
you
listen
are.
to these different candidates, and I'm like, okay, what are you proposing that's going to improve my personal quality of
$1,000
life?
to do you good?
No, but
I mean,
It's
you're
a
not gonna
start.
down,
Nigga,
yeah.
oh, shit, what are you doing, nigga? An extra $1,000, nigga, you know what I can do with that?
But an extra $1,000, you know
Boy,
what
I
we
go
can do
give
with
me a
our
pound.
podcast?
That mean nothing.
We can do, you know what we can do with this podcast right now? Boy.
But we'll be live on camp.
at least he's proposing a solution that I can see directly impacts
That's
my
the
standard
problem.
of
That's why I think
living.
they're gonna win.
Right. That's
That's
why
the problem.
he's not
He has a
getting.
solution. You know damn well they don't like people having solutions.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think the Democrats are gonna win because I don't think he's gonna go up there. If Bernie won it and had him as his vice president, I think that'd be a win.
That'd be nice.
Exactly, because we know Bernie's gonna die
But
halfway
Bernie
in.
believes in a federal jobs guarantee. You know, I don't want no federal government job.
Exactly, we don't want no damn federal job.
I don't want no
Nigga,
fucking
you know anybody who
job.
works for federal government, nigga, gets dog eat dog there, and on top of that,
Hell
it's
yeah,
so
you be-
fucking
nigga,
petty.
with those kind of jobs, nigga, you be fucking doing road work and bullshit like that. And technically, it would be a guarantee because nigga, you get fired still.
Exactly. So there's no such thing as a guarantee. $1,000 guarantee, nigga. You can make something happen with that. Even if you're working a little shitty ass job, like working at flipping them
Yeah,
burgers.
assuming
Yeah,
you
you
ain't,
be flipping the burger, get that $1,000 a month, but you be
Exactly.
good. You'll be middle class then.
I mean,
you be
yeah,
middle
assuming
class,
you ain't got
man.
no debt, because that $1,000 gonna go straight there.
It depends. Even
it
that,
helps,
that
though,
still
but
gives other people a
Yeah,
job.
but
Yeah, it
yeah,
still helps,
that
though.
still helps.
Yeah, it still helps.
Ain't no way.
And also the fact that
ain't
it's
no
not
way in
taxed.
hell they gonna see that goddamn money from me. But you selling, man, you wish, bitch. You ain't get a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying though, but $1,000 is nice though, but
It'll pay your rent.
it's not. I mean,
It'll pay your rent.
But it'll pay your rent. Like,
Yeah.
imagine the things that you could do if you didn't have to worry about rent.
Correct. Like you can actually pay off that debt. Like regardless.
And that's
Yeah.
the problem, I guess, with the Yang Gang, is that his proposals would be leveling the playing field.
But Rich don't care about leveling the playing field. Because I'm sorry, if I fucking drive Bugatti, there's nothing that your kids could ever do that will touch my kids. I can
rob
pay for
your
them to have.
fucking kids.
Huh?
Rob
'em.
your fucking kid. Yes, that's what's gonna happen. You keep playing with these people, they coming for you.
you want to revise that
And
statement to legally?
Your kids are always gonna be the ones, especially black rich kids, rich black kids.
Yep.
I want to go to the hood. Oh nigga, come on. I'll show you the hood.
Nah, Tyreek, don't do it, man. Don't
Nah,
do
bro,
it.
let me show you the hood.
It's not gonna
bro.
turn out like Power,
Hey, bro,
Tyreek.
Don't you want to be down with the crew, bro? Hell
Nah,
yeah, bro, come
Tyreek.
on, get
Nah,
down,
you shouldn't
boy.
do that, man. Don't
Come
hang
on,
out with
get
Ghost and
down.
them. Bro.
Hey, bro, I need you to bring $1,000. Go do this.
Nah, bro. Don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that.
do this.
Don't fucking do that. Don't try to be cool. But yeah, we really need to get a handle on this whole thing. And part of it is by billionaires paying their fair share. If they're like, oh, but I won't invest in as many businesses. I don't give a fuck about your investment.
You know,
No, your business you invest in don't help me, nigga. I'm talking about help my bottom line. Like, pay some of these niggas to fix these goddamn roads and let's keep this shit moving. Like, give these niggas money so that they can go and get regular fucking jobs and help themselves.
Apparently, Black Libertarian calls him, he's an enemy of the state now because he's a libertarian.
Okay, yeah, fuck that. Going into music this week, I listened to Young M.A.'s Her Story.
Who?
Young
you
M.A.
calling him by his proper pronoun?
I'm calling her by her proper pronouns.
You sure?
I'm 1,000%.
I thought he liked to be referred to as him.
No, she likes to be referred to as her.
Sure.
You know that you can have a masculine woman and still use her pronoun.
That's like a real
associated with things
unicorn.
like dominance.
Like
so
a
if
real
a woman
unicorn.
is dominant, they tend to refer her as being a little
Okay,
masculine.
tell me about the Real Unicorns album.
All right, so Young M.A.'s Her Story was pretty good. A couple of the tracks on there did kind of sound like some shit I think I would hear a nigga doing. But also she talked about, some of the problems in lesbian relationships, which was kind of nice,
They talked about the abuse, they be beating each other ass and shit.
No, they talked about there being abusive
Each
relationships.
other ass, don't they?
As much as we would like to be able to weigh in on this, we're just gonna leave that where we're talking about an album. If she beats her girlfriend's ass, that ain't got shit to do with us as long as the music is good.
But I can see it happening though, because we're just emotional and hormonal, and that doesn't change.
But what I think really overshadows the music here is the fact that she owns all the beats, production, all that stuff.
I'll go listen to it.
I mean, no, it's pretty good. Should it have came out a year ago? Probably so.
2 years ago.
It should have came out 2 years ago? Most definitely. But the album Her Story is actually pretty good. Are you probably going to add any of the tracks to your playlist? I don't know.
Does it sound like 1990s, late 90s rap?
No.
I'm coming through the block, huh? Yeah. You don't need no style like a rock. No.
Nah, it doesn't sound like 90s.
No.
Sounds like 2000 rap.
That sounds like what?
It sounds like 2000s rap.
2000, early 2000s, late 2000s.
Later 2000s.
Good.
The beat selections were pretty damn good.
Let me tell you about a good album.
Sir, that was a good album.
Taylor Swift, Lover.
Jesus.
Yes, this is what he's been waiting for. To tell us
But
about
Taylor Swift, Lover is a gorgeous album, man. Yeah, let me tell you my favorite song so far. The Man, that was actually pretty good. Death by a Thousand Cuts. You Need to Calm Down. Me, it got Brandon Urie and Panic at the Disco. You know I love Panic at the Disco.
Which album was this again?
Lover.
Taylor Swift, Lover.
Okay.
This album is not for my black ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is not for me. I was listening to this shit like, okay. But that song, Me, was my favorite actually. She actually had the Dixie Chicks. I thought they got excommunicated from the white community. I'm sorry, white country community for being. I think they was it with the Bush thing or something like that. Yeah. And then everybody would agree with them later on.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. Is history will prove you right sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but overall, I recommend you listen to it if you're a white person.
Really?
All 5 of you guys who listen to our podcast, we want to thank you for.
It's not 5.
Six.
They probably like half, if not more. You know
think
how much
so?
they like talking about black culture and
Yes.
being in the know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, what's
That
up,
was true.
Wiggers?
First and foremost, we're not giving you that. You are not Wiggers. We'll use your music, but I want my rights, Tyrone.
I have.
I mean,
was
some people embrace that though. They love that Wigger thing though.
It's like the hip hop community.
You mean
though,
like the
Yeah.
3 white people that actually are
yeah,
hip
well, I'm
hop?
saying some people have like
Three.
pretty serious.
Hey, it's like
Leave
17,
Lil White alone.
like 17 now.
Oh, 17.
Slim Jesus,
they
and like
moving up.
he's somebody.
First
Like, yeah,
and
I like
foremost,
Wigger.
Slim Jesus is a piece of shit.
Slim Jesus is the slimmest, coolest nigga ever.
He
And
seemed
don't
like
forget my nigga Young Gravy.
He's not even cool. Young Gravy at least has swag because he understands I'm white, but I can make hip hop songs. Slim Jesus thinks low key that he's actually an albino black kid who's been separated from birth.
Slim Jesus is a thug ass nigga. You better realize it.
He's
will
not a
shoot you.
thug ass nigga, and he won't shoot anybody unless you mean
pretends
shooting
to
you
be.
with like dollar
That nigga
bills.
weighs like 100 pounds and he's like 6'2".
Yeah, he's got several problems. Also, his head's way too big for his body, but that's neither here nor there.
You know, I haven't heard much of like Young Gravy though, but how do you compare him to like Lil Dicky? 'Cause I don't know, they kind of look the same to
No,
me.
they're
I
not the
haven't-
same. They're not the same.
Young
person.
Gravy
Okay.
is that white boy who can rap, but he's still the white boy. And I love him.
He's like the cool white boy. Like, have you seen like that video of like the drum majors and there's like this one black guy or this white guy and he's like doing it, but he's doing it like he's not like trying to overly show out, but he's just part of the culture. Like Justin Timberlake before he started opening his goddamn
He's
mouth.
like Justin Timberlake if he could rap, but he had a deep voice. He reminds me a lot of Red Dirt because like the way he raps is kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But it's not too. It's kind of goofy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is kind
It's kind of goofy, but he's like, I'll take your bitch shit. Like, I'm rich, I'm white, and whatever.
Also true.
Yeah, I'm not confident.
Okay, so he can rap, but he ain't trying to really like act black or anything.
No.
Okay.
He's more like,
He's just trying to,
he borrows from the culture, though.
Yeah, he borrows from the culture.
Like,
he wants to fuck a lot of women, and we all good with that.
I'll take your bitch type shit.
Exactly. I'll
There's
take
not
it.
shit that you hear normally from white people.
Yeah. One thought, two thought, three thought, four thought.
Red thought, blue thought, red thought, two blue thought.
Exactly. All the thoughts. But tell us about sports, R. Reed.
I don't really have it.
There's nothing good that happens.
Yeah, I saw that you put that in there earlier. I'm just like, ain't really nothing going on. NBA is in preseason. NFL is in week number 5 for us. Oh, Fantasy Outsider. Fortunate. Nigga, you ain't got no win.
Fortunate, you suck.
And I beat you, nigga.
Did you hear what Fortunate said on the podcast, Maybe Real episode 5?
I don't listen to their podcast. It's not good.
That's terrible. Fortunate put a target on his back. These were Fortunate's words. I'm quoting. This nigga Fortunate said he was playing mini golf with Ness and one of his other homeboys. And basically, Ness was hitting it. He was getting, like 25 yards the first time. The other guy, he was hitting like 75. And Fortunate,
Topgolf.
They were at like a Topgolf place, but this is a while back. And Fortunate hits it, and it just goes a little distance. Then like Ness hits it to like 50 yards. The other guy hits it like 100 yards. And Fortunate, same thing happened. He's like, man, I always start sucking when I go around you niggas. And it's like, pause. Hard pause. Hard pause. And like everybody gave him shit for that. Shout out to LaSalle. Shout out to T Money. Shout out to Ness. But it's like, Fortunate, why would you ever open your mouth to say that?
Niggas.
Like, you always suck around niggas.
Every time you get around niggas,
every time you get around the niggas, you start sucking. Just straight up. Just all the way.
Nigga.
Only niggas?
Only niggas. When he around the ladies, he don't start sucking. He don't start licking.
Fortunate, you be sucking around niggas.
It's Fortunate to be sucking around niggas. And I knew he knew that he was going to get shit on for that comment.
And this is a rival podcast we're talking about.
Depends on where he's at. That would be quite fortunate.
Oh! Hey, don't be sucking around us.
Good one.
No sucks accepted around these parts. But shout out to Fantasy Outsiders. Shout out to Made with Real, where I got that
Same
from.
podcast.
No, 2 different podcasts. Fantasy Outsiders, they talk about how badly they've been losing in fantasy.
All of them are sucking stuff for
No. T Money, my nigga.
And T Money was a loser last season.
T Money was terrible last season. That boy came back with a vengeance. LaSalle,
I think he's losing today.
I understand that you're playing the long game, sir.
LaSalle is. I don't even think.
No. Me and LaSalle, we talked. He's focusing on other things that are going to pay dividends.
Did he win a game yet?
He hasn't won a game yet either. I think he's the other person who's number 9. I think he's doing better points wise than Fortunate, but he's doing some other things which have occupied his time. Hey man,
I'm gonna win this game today, so I'm gonna move up.
Hey man,
because my cool team gonna lose.
You repping for everyday black men, Fantasy Outsiders. Get your weight up. T Money.
Why do we have women on our podcast if we're everyday black men? We got a woman coming next week, by the way.
We got another one coming next week.
We're doing an interview.
Awesome. We can't wait to have
questions for it because you never did.
I mean, we have questions for everybody.
Okay.
So should be good. And also, we appreciate your salted caramel. No hate, no dislike. Can I first get to the relationship topics? Because I knew she was going to talk about this.
Oh, let's do it. I remember those.
Okay. So
I'm going to go pee.
I'm going to tell y'all right now. All right. And I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you the question. Salted caramel.
Salted caramel.
What are the reasons to continue a bad date? So I'm going to describe a scenario. There's a black guy. He goes to the county fair. He takes out a black girl. Halfway through, he realizes that something ain't right. And he looks and he sees that she's got one track in her weave that's just a little off. So he continues a date with her because she said she likes sucking dick. Are there any other reasons for you to continue a bad date? And Armstead, actually, you know what? You looking like you really want to say something about that. Do you have another reason that you continue? If a woman said,
I mean, bro, that to me that's not really considered a bad date to me. Just because one of her tracks is loose, people make mistakes. That's like
but Armstead, this man is operating from authority like you. He's got a Holodex. He's got 15 hoes in here. 15 hoes. He's on a date with one, and her track is a little bit weird, but he continues to date because she says that she enjoys fellatio.
I mean, that's kind of like me, going on a date and I got a scuff on my shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if this is a woman who has like 14 other Armsteads in her Rolodex, you having a scuff? Armstead. Not Armstead. It's gonna be that Stead.
Yeah, but it ain't Armstead.
She said she going with other Stead. Stedman. Shout out to Oprah.
I think it depends on because that was an example, right? So that's something a little bit more like superficial.
Well,
Like,
yes, it is.
let's
it is
say,
superficial.
like, for example, if I had a date and the date had bad breath, no, we can't continue. I'm sorry. That's like torture.
But we're asking for a reason for you to continue a bad date, not what things.
Like
are deal breakers.
if it was so is it like a blind date and you're just meeting this person for the first
not
time?
Blind, not blind. Let's say that you met somebody on Tinder, and
That's kind of
It's kind of a blind date, you know.
I mean,
like
it's not
half-
really a blind date. A blind date is like there used to be a dating app. Oh God, I'm gonna take y'all way back. So there's this app that was called OkCupid. But they used to have an app called Double Down. And Double Down basically is like, hey, are you down to see somebody tonight? You don't get to know what they look like. All you get to know is their number.
nah.
And you get to go to a place that y'all two agree upon. So that's a blind date. If you know who the person is, you can say that this is a mystery date. But I'm sorry, if you know what
That
their
ain't no
face
blind date,
look,
nigga. That's a risk.
I mean, nah, man, it turned out well for most people. The
You
reason
smashed, didn't you?
not saying that happened in Macon, but at the same time,
And
you
what?
know,
Macon,
Georgia.
Macon, Georgia.
No, jeez.
Man, nigga, you took a trip though. That's 2 hours.
That's like 3 hours, right?
Hey man,
Yeah, about 2 hours,
As long as you hit, does it matter?
Man, I drove already.
I
I drove all the Athens for a day.
I mean,
before,
sorry,
too.
nothing happened. Nothing happened. That's what I was saying. Exactly what I was goddamn saying.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I made a drive before. I think I told you about that.
I think we all made it.
Yeah,
I
you know,
think
we
we all made
we all-
drive
you know,
before.
Man,
yeah.
I'm the reason why that. Wait, did we go together?
You're the reason why Georgia decided to put
Remember we
Y'all-
drove all the way out there to.
You remember the girl that was like 15 years old? You told
No.
Everyday Black Man
Ladies
is
and gentlemen,
not.
No.
we were 16, okay?
No, we weren't even sitting down. This didn't happen.
Yeah, we canceling our read
All
here.
that shit.
Remember you made that joke about her? I think she called herself
Cancel
Red or
RE.
something like that.
Cancel.
Who?
Remember? And she had a basically it was a dark
That
skin
one
chick.
with the trailer park? I was
Yeah.
supposed to go, but they live in the trailer park, and I knew I deserved better.
Wait, you did smash though.
That's smashed at your house, remember?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
But they
Remember you said
but
she was
went
so
down
short?
there with Simi. I didn't go down there.
No, I didn't go down there with her. I went down there by myself.
Oh,
But I
okay.
remember
I
bringing her
never went
back.
down there.
The other one, she was nice. She was
was
good.
cute.
Yeah.
You know, and the other girl, she was short.
I mean,
He made a joke about it. He was like, man, she's so short, she could do a backflip underneath a bed.
Hey man, not everybody got the
Remember
height.
that shit?
Goodness.
So what we want to know, Salted Caramel, is what is a reason for you to continue a bad date? We're saying the date's going bad, but what is a reason for you to continue? So let's say the date's kind of average. Let's say he's not very
They
talkative.
got money for a woman.
He not talk.
Yeah,
Can you
I think
let her talk?
I think it depends on the person. For me, I'm really empathetic, so I've had like a lot of bad dates. But I just
So like 50 first dates, but your real life story.
right, pretty much. But it's like, I mean, it's a one-time thing, so get it over with, and then you don't have to see the person ever again. I wouldn't like get up and leave and like leave them sitting there.
So you
but
never had a lemon law?
nah.
Ah man, I had
Have you ever
lemon laws.
abandoned a woman on a date?
I've abandoned a woman. I've abandoned.
Hopefully that's the only thing you did.
I've abandoned a woman. I've abandoned something that was not a woman.
Boy, I love it. But as a black nigga, I'm gonna whip your ass
good
and you have to go. Like nigga.
That was a good set.
That was actually what the person was like. Hey, so I know I'm not what you expected, nigga. Why the fuck do you think I would stay? Did you really think I was gonna be like, you know what?
Let's not forget
No.
about Malik Gilba now, because
Look, I don't date underage trans
He's not-
women. All right,
he's not.
I don't date 16-year-old trans women and be like, I didn't know they were 16.
What was your perspective on him?
Wait, is that what he said? He said he didn't know.
Yes, yeah, he didn't. He
Is that
didn't
a
know.
new story?
That's a new story.
I thought he said he was open to it. It's like, yeah, I date trans.
he was open to it because
no,
the nigga
but
was
he
trying
did
to
say
get
that he
ahead.
does date transgender women.
Oh, he didn't know.
only
He didn't know
did
he
that.
was
But he was
underage.
married.
He didn't know.
He
They were-
only did that because they were coming out. He was just protecting
Right.
his ass. He didn't give a fuck about transgender people. He was
Exactly.
just trying to get.
He was just trying to be like, look,
He's
I
just
dated a
trying
lot
to-
of people underage, some of them trans women, some of them not, and
He's just
3 of
trying
them
to
about to come
get
out with
sausage and
stories.
eggs.
So let me just go ahead and say that I date trans women and let it be what it be.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't care.
That's
about that.
unfortunate.
I don't care about that.
I mean, unfortunately. So really, you just would empathetically continue a date with someone regardless.
No.
Stylish. Is there anything that would make you continue a bad date?
I mean, I usually continue bad days anyway, just because I'm just a bleeding heart dude. It's like, I mean,
We got 2 bleeding hearts right next to each other.
I do. I mean, date is bad though, and it's like I just sit through it, and then once it's over, you know, it's like, you know, you kind of go up separate ways, never talk to each other again. That's
Let me ask y'all this: when y'all used to go on dates now, is it just a movie and it's over, or is it like dinner and it's over, or is it like two things, like two things that's combined?
So back in 2015, when it used to be
now that's what I'm getting at, because it's kind of like it's when it comes to letting a date end, it's like, okay, we here, I'm gonna fucking finish my food whether the date's good or bad, and then we gonna part ways, and then that's gonna determine whether I talk to you again or not. Right. Now,
is there food etiquette gonna determine whether you keep going or just the conversation? Because if you see a woman who just be like chewing like with like the whole thing,
so
like,
what you doing?
Well, see, that's the thing. It's kind of an unfair question for women, because on the date you're assuming that the guy's paying, so she's gonna eat for free regardless of whether the date's bad or not.
Is she assuming that the guy's paying?
That's a weird assumption.
Yeah.
Ever go on a date like
Ever go on a date?
I mean, I personally will make sure I have my own money, but most girls, they go on dates assuming the guy's gonna pay.
You mean the Gen Y girls? Because them Gen Z girls don't do that. Them Gen Z girls don't do that. They assume that they need to pay their own way. That's a Gen Y, Gen X kind of thing.
Well, I know. Funny enough, most of the girls I've dated in like the past few years has been like they're offended that I'm trying to pay for them and stuff though.
Exactly.
So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you looking for her offended ass where she at? All right, because she got too much pride.
Not
offended.
You need that woman. You need that woman.
She got too much pride.
I mean, not offended.
Her the lions.
I mean, not offended in the sense like oh my god, I dare you fucking pig or something like that. But just like no, you don't need to do that.
I'm trying to keep my money.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
and then been like
you want me to keep my money? Okay.
I love that. I'll offer you sex in exchange.
There you go.
Penis.
Really? Is that what you tell women?
The dick.
No.
Okay.
But is it a date though?
Nigga, bitch, we about to watch Netflix and chill. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Or fire stick and
Dick.
always
that's a lot
terrible. Always terrible
Well,
too.
you want to see that Joker movie? Here you go. That nigga standing up in the theater. Bitch, just close your eye for a second.
it ain't 4K, but it's okay.
Absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. All right, so you will continue. The only person we haven't gotten to is Ari. Ari, what would make you continue a bad date?
Is she bad? We gonna have sex.
Is she bad? So if a woman says we gonna have sex after this, you'll go through a date no matter how terrible, no matter how whatever.
Did I just get some recently, or like am I just didn't?
Now that you never got some before, but she promised you sex afterwards.
Bro, ain't nothing like new pussy. That's how niggas
Ain't
feel.
nothing like new pussy.
So basically,
unless it's crazy, then you don't do it.
Nah, you still do it with crazy.
No.
Crazy, those are the best.
We got some
ones.
stories on pod we can tell you.
Yeah, crazy sex are the best.
But dumb,
ones.
you just make sure you take them to a hotel because you want to know where you live.
Really,
Or at least your
Armstead?
car, nigga.
Yeah.
Really, Armstead? Really, that's how you feel?
You make sure you got like a burner phone or something
rule
too.
number 2.
How was number 1?
Use a condom.
There you go.
Was that really a rule?
Yeah, that should be
You should
like.
probably always use a condom if you have a random sex with a stranger.
Yeah.
You should always use a
definitely.
condom. Period.
No matter what.
Unless you actually trust this person's not gonna fuck you over, because as we talked about
Still use a
last
condom.
podcast, once she get pregnant, dog,
It's her choice.
But all right, so that was interesting. I thought
Just
a
leave
few
her
more
and her
people were
baby
gonna
be stranded. You
have
know,
different
abandon
things,
the
but
motherfucker.
you know,
Her last
one
name.
podcast we had where that guy and the girl, like, he took her out to the mountains and they were camping and whatnot, and he was like, all right, cool, we're gonna go to bed. And she's like, oh no, we can't sleep in the same bed. Then he just left her up there. Good times for him, because he went home and slept in his own bed.
You remember that podcast that we never released with that argument on it?
Hey man, we don't talk about that podcast for the sake of the victims.
It's gonna be available on Patreon 2020.
Of course. 2020 Patreon.
We got a lot of podcasts y'all ain't heard. Boy, I'm telling y'all what's on there.
Thank you, Stylish and Salted Caramel, for coming to the studio today. We really appreciate y'all, and we hope that we get to see y'all again sometime. Ari, do you have anything before we let the people go?
Brandon Cinnamon would like to tell y'all that go vote for Andrew Yang. He's coming up.
Yang gang, baby.
Gang.
Gang gang.